Hello everyone and welcome to this edition of Sheep Market USA. I'm your host, Lanny Brothers. On this edition of Sheep Market USA, we'll not be taking a look at sheep markets, but we will be taking a look at something that affects the profitability of your operation: feed cost. On this edition of Sheep Market USA. So no matter if you're a small, medium, or large operation or somewhere in between, if you feed complete pelleted feeds or commodity blends or bulk blends that you blend in-house, feedstuff cost will affect you. Unfortunately, not many shepherds have row cropping operations to defray our feed supply costs. Every Friday, the USDA issues their feedstuffs and grain reports. Knowing and understanding the trends of these reports can help you understand the future of your feed costs and hopefully help shepherds plan ahead to help make your operation as profitable as possible. So, let's get right to this week's report. So we want to remind you right off that you can find these reports online at the USDA website in the AMS section or Agricultural Marketing Service at www.ams.usda.gov. So we'll begin this report with the National Grain and Oilseed Processor Feedstuff Report that was issued this past Friday, May 12th. Now we'll begin with the corn-based distillers grain 10%. Now we're not going to cover each and every individual region and method of transportation, but we will look at a couple of specifics. Now, as we look at the report, the first thing that you'll notice are that current prices are a little lower by some margins than this time last year. Now, some of the biggest drops are in the Kansas region. At close Friday, they were at $271.67 a ton. Last year, $330 a ton, which is an average drop of $59 per ton. South Dakota was also at $237.80 a ton at close Friday. Last year, $288 a ton, which is a drop of $53 per ton. There was also notable drops in Missouri at $44 a ton from last year. Iowa dropped an average of $40 a ton from last year, as did Minnesota. So if you average the current cost as of close Friday and the average per ton across all regions and all methods of delivery, the current average at $261.60 a ton last year was at $310.78, which is an average drop of 18%. Next, we'll move to the corn gluten feed pellet 21%. Now, often they are used in commodity blends and bulk blends. Now, same as before, we won't walk through each and every region and delivery method, but all but one region had a significant drop as of close Friday the 12th, and that was Alabama, where the price per ton went up, if only by $6 per ton. All other markets recorded drops of anywhere from $50 a ton to $69 a ton in the central region with the method of delivery FOB by rail. Now, if you take a look at the regional averages at close as of this past Friday, the average was $229.76 per ton. Compared to last year at this time, the average was $276.15 per ton, which is a decrease of 21%. Next, the soybean hulls. Now, looking at this report from the regions of Kansas City, Illinois, Minnesota, Iowa, Memphis, Tennessee, and the Indiana-Ohio region. Now, as of close Friday, averages show decreases across the board from a year ago, with the biggest drops in the Illinois region down $62 per ton from the average last year at this time, to the Memphis, Tennessee region showing a decrease from last year of only $15 per ton. Now, taking the averages from the close on Friday, the average price per ton across the board was $160 per ton, with last year's average $203.17, which as of close Friday was down 26%. Next, we'll move to the soybean hull pellets that are used in bulk feed blends and commodity blends. Now, there are limited comparison numbers from the Illinois, Iowa, and Indiana-Ohio region to last year's averages, but those with comparisons once again have shown decreases from last year at this time. As of close on Friday in Kansas City, the average was $188.33 per ton, with a year ago at $250 per ton, which is a decline of $61 a ton from this time last year. Alabama closed at $211.88 last year at this time, $246.67 a ton, which is a decline of $34 per ton. Minnesota closed at $160 a ton last year at this time, $200 per ton, with a drop from last year at $40 per ton. So as of close on Friday, the average across all regions, all methods, were at $181.31 per ton. The soybean meal, 46.5 to 48% protein, has very limited comparison numbers to last year, But as of close on Friday, all market regions and delivery methods had one thing in common, as all were well above $400 per ton. On the low side was the Minnesota region at $415.03 per ton. Iowa region was next at $423, highest on the market. Portland, Oregon at $524.50 per ton. So as of close on Friday, averaging prices across all regions and all methods at $454 per ton. Now the yellow corn hominy feed used mostly in the commodity blends from Illinois, San Joaquin Valley, and St. Louis. Now the Illinois region FOB by truck was at $182 a ton. Last year, $205 a ton this year, which was an increase of 12%. The Illinois region FOB by rail method was at $198 a ton. A year ago, $175, which is an increase of 11%. From the San Joaquin Valley of California, as of close on Friday, it was at $305 last year at this time, $370 a ton, which is a decrease of 17%. St. Louis region closed Friday with an average of $185 a ton with no comparison numbers to last year. So across the board, all regions, all methods, average prices per ton was at $223.25 compared to last year at $242.34, which is a decline of 7.9%. Cottonseed hulls closed Friday at $390 per ton from California's San Joaquin Valley, which is up $45 a ton from last year at this time. Cottonseed meal, 41%, had their largest drops in the San Joaquin Valley region with a drop of $70 per ton compared to this time last year. Only $5 a ton decrease at the Kansas City and St. Louis region. So averaging across all regions and all methods as of close on Friday was at $400.38 per ton, which this time last year was at $426.13, which is a decline of 6%. Now on to the National Mill Feeds and Miscellaneous Feedstuff Report, also released on Friday, that you can find at the USDA website at www.ams.usda.gov. Wheat middlings, which is a very common ingredient in complete pelleted feeds, was mostly down across all regions. The only increase came in the Buffalo, New York market, but it was only up $5 per ton. The biggest decrease was in Kansas City, with FOB by truck dropping $62.50 per ton from last year. So averages across all regions, all methods at close was $152.62. Last year at this time, $177.83, which was a decline of 14.1%. For rice bran, prices saw an increase across the board. Arkansas closed at $225 a ton. Last year at this time was at $155 a ton, which is an increase of 31%. Louisiana region closed at $200 per ton. Last year at this time was at $190. Texas region was at $150 a year ago, and at close on Friday was at $180 per ton. And the California Sacramento Valley region closed at $241.75, which is up from $208.33 a ton last year. And that wraps up our very first edition of our USDA Feedstuffs Report, with the report dated this past Friday, May 12th. Once again, we'd like to remind you that you can find the Feedstuffs Report and much more at the Agricultural Marketing Service section of the USDA website at www.ams.usda.gov. As we progress on this journey, we'll be able to build more data and hopefully be able to highlight some trends in the feedstuff supply to better equip shepherds in preparing for what may lay ahead in their feed cost, which the better prepared you are, the better chance of improving your profitability. We would like to ask you to give a thumbs up to this report. Make sure to leave a comment and make sure to subscribe to the channel to keep up with new updates. So until next time, I'm your host, Laddie Brothers, on Sheep Market USA.